For the longest time, Busch Gardens Tampa has always been talked about to get some sort of Giga coaster. Just a few months back, plans for a possible 2021 edition up in Williamsburg leaked, coming with the unofficial name Drachen Spire. Now when it comes to Drachen Spire, nothing is confirmed, so let's just take it with a grain of salt. I bring up Drachen Spire because usually when one of the Busch Gardens parks gets something, the other one does too. For example, BGT got Python, and then BGW got Loch Ness Monster. BGT gets Kumba, and then BGW got Drachen Fire. BGT gets Montu and SheiKra, and then BGW gets Alpengiest and Griffon. We have also seen it flipped-flopped like Verbolten to Cheetah Hunt and Tempesto to Tigris. Because these parks are so closely related, it helps us predict what might be in store for the future. In this case, we have a Giga at BGW and nothing at BGT. So today we dive right into what BGT might get as a mirror to Drachen Spire, how plans released by the park could hint towards a possible addition, and in true coaster theory fashion, how Mako ties into all of it. If you're new to the channel and not already subscribed, click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future coaster theories. Also, today's shout out goes to John Klein. If you want to get featured in my next video, then just comment something down below. If I like it, then I'll be sure to put you in my next video. First, let's talk about the odds this coaster could come. There are a couple things we need to consider when we're talking about a Giga, and this goes for all parks. If a park wants a Giga, they need to have enough space, not have a height limit, and have enough money for this to be a reasonable investment. So, does BGT have enough space? Yes, they have a lot of space, but it comes with a catch. A lot of the space Tampa has is for the animals. They can't just build a coaster over the animals just because. They might need to rearrange some things to make sure that it could fit nicely among the animals. But to answer the question, yes, BGT has more than enough space for a Giga. Second, does BGT have a height limit? Believe it or not, they do. 200 feet. Everyone thinks I'm crazy when I say this, and I know a lot of you are already on the way to the comments saying, Zach, you don't know what you're talking about. They built Falcon's Fury, and Falcon's Fury is much taller than 200 feet. Yes, I know. This 200-foot limit is actually for the entire state of Florida. I have friends in the Florida amusement industry that explained all of this to me. Other than Iron Gwazi, which I'll talk about in a second, you won't see a coaster over 200 feet. The closest you're gonna get is Expedition Everest standing at 199 feet, and both SheiKra and Mako, which are exactly 200 feet. So, if that's the case, then how could BGT build Falcon's Fury? It's because freestanding structures like Falcon's Fury and the skyscrapers in downtown Tampa can pass this limit. Well, shouldn't a coaster count as a freestanding structure? I guess not, man. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Now, when it comes to Iron Gwazi, how can a coaster pass that limit? First, we're talking about a 6-foot difference. Filing the permits for a 206-foot coaster would be much easier than filing permits for, say, a 300-foot coaster. This is also another theory to why Iron Gwazi didn't come sooner, because they had to get the right permits. With all that said, does it completely eliminate the Giga? No, but it makes the odds a lot less likely, but it's not completely thrown out the window. Adding a Giga would bring in a lot of benefits to the Tampa area. For instance, it would increase tourism. If that's the case, then I could see Tampa giving Busch Gardens a one-time pass just so they can get more people into their city. Anyways, this is where the theory comes into play. Going back to what we were saying earlier about BGT and BGW having the same style or model of coaster, there is one big one that Williamsburg has that Tampa doesn't, a B&M Hyper. After all the years since Apollo's Chariot was built, Tampa finally decided they wanted one for themselves. The coaster would have an L-shaped layout and would max out at 200 feet. This coaster was designed for a 2016 release, but instead of choosing the B&M Hyper, the park chose a Mack family coaster. The Hyper would make its way to SeaWorld Orlando and get named Mako. This also explains why Williamsburg doesn't have anything quite like Cobra's Curse, because Tampa wasn't supposed to get Cobra's Curse, they were supposed to get Mako. So why didn't they get it? What made the park change their mind? I believe it's because BGT said, maybe instead of getting a Hyper, we can get a Giga by the same manufacturer. Maybe it would have been too soon to add Mako and then just 5 years later add a Giga, which Gigas are pretty much just a bigger version of a Hyper. There's also a theory that Mako was originally designed as a Giga for BGT, but once SeaWorld changed their mind, they toned it down to be a better fit at SeaWorld Orlando. Or SeaWorld has been lying to us the whole time and Mako really is a Giga. Hashtag Mako's a Giga. Let's just stick to our theory that BGT is planning on getting a Giga at some point in the future. As of now, there are plans for an S&S Scream and Swing in the old Rhino Rally area, codenamed Project Jethro, kind of like how Pantheon was codenamed Project Madrid. Here's a layout of what to expect from this edition, but when it comes to the Giga, I think this is where we're gonna see some sort of plaza. With a big ride like a Scream and Swing being added to this location, I'm gonna guess that the park wants more attention to this side of the park. And what a better way to get more people over there than a Giga. They're not gonna use up all of the land from Rhino Rally, so that could give some space for a new coaster. As of now, that is all we can predict, but might as well take a shot at what this coaster might look like. I'm sure all of us are hoping for a ride that can top Fury, but I'm just not sure that would happen. As much as I would love to see BGT get something of that size, going back to the height limit, if they're gonna break it, I would say it's a lot more convincing to just go with an even 300 feet over something more specific like 330 feet. As far as elements go, I would love to see a lot of airtime, maybe one of those low to the ground lifter airtime hills. I would also love to see something like the first element on Orion, but over the Safari. If Busch Gardens is gonna add a Giga, they gotta do this. It'd be so cool. Well, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Be sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. I read every comment and would love to hear what you have to say. Also, be sure to click that top link in the description down below to pick up some of your very own theme park media merchandise. We just released a new store with all new apparel, so definitely go check it out if you're interested. Any purchase helps the channel. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more just like it, click this playlist right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click my logo right here. I'm Zach from Theme Park Media signing off, and I will catch you in the next one.